This video contains spoilers. If that's something you want to avoid, I suggest you stop watching now. You have been warned. Today we're going to be talking about Geiken. Geiken is an RPG Maker VX game with an action-based combat system. Now, don't let the packaged art assets deter you from playing this game. It has 6 different endings, plenty of side quests, exploration, and a deeply interwoven story that is worth exploring. Here are 5 reasons why this indie game should be on your radar. Number 5, the 2 islands, White Island and Dark Isle. The first area the player is birthed into, White Island, is inhabited by folks that are more than strange. Their dialogue is extremely off-putting and should immediately give the player a sense that something just isn't right about this place. Even the interactable objects suggest that something is amiss. You also have your first encounter with Rattan, the being from your dreams that asks you to comply, a theme and command that carries throughout the game. The same is true for Dark Isle, the metaphorical purgatory of this world. Time doesn't flow in the normal sense. There's a very interesting fourth wall break that the NPC recognizes, and some terrifying happy birthday music. Happy birthday to you. It also presents the player with some tough decisions of leaving allies behind, and the effect of that decision is felt shortly thereafter. On top of that, it contains one of my favorite parts of the game, when a player is being taught to not defy the will of fate, something that you most certainly should do. Oh, Jesus.
Number 4, Drake and Charon, Love Gone Horribly Wrong. I'm admittedly biased towards this story arc because I'm a sucker for love stories. However, this part of the game is tragic, touching, and completely messed up, much like most versions of real-life love end up being, and it's all very well written. The long and short of it is that Drake wants to prove to Charon that the world isn't as bad as she thinks it is, and he's willing to do anything to show her. He goes so far that he attempts to destroy the world by manipulating the people around him so that heroes will rise up to defend it, showcasing that there are still good people out there. Charon thinks that people have to be forced into doing the right thing, and the difference in beliefs between the two of them cause the relationship to end. As the two Geiken, Apocalypse and Doom, are destroying everything in existence, Charon comes to realize that their united attempt to make the world a better place proves Drake's point. They both attempted, in their own way, to save the world, and as they watched it end, they fell back in love again, as if it was never gone in the first place. Number 3, Boss Rush, Geiken, Colors, and Gray. Oh my. On the path to unlocking some of the certain finales, a series of boss fights end the game in an epic fashion. You fight the two Geiken, Doom and Apocalypse. You fight them both at the same time, and they have 2 stages, humanoid form and then beast form, and both parts are insane. You confront them on a battleground of the ruined world, all that is left. They move fast and hit like a truck. The cool part is, party members that died throughout the game are able to be picked up and join your party for the fight that is meant to be a solo endeavor. Next is the 3 whole colors, red, green, and blue. This is a satisfying fight because the entire game revolves around these goddesses messing with the player and the world at large. The fight is fairly simple, but the design is what really makes it impressive, and after the Geiken, a reprieve is needed. You fight them all at once, but one at a time. You cycle through each of their individual battlegrounds while whittling down their health and finish the fight with a satisfying killing blow to red. Or so you thought. She has the second form as well, and then you only really kill her the second time around. Then comes Soul, who by now found out is Gray, the polar opposite of the player character. Here's the kicker though. He had made the attempt to become one with the player to bring harmony to the destroyed world, but if Parent continues his path of defiance and refuses, the player is now the bad guy. The battle takes place in an empty space between worlds, and the battleground looks like a disco or rave with an epileptic display of color rotation. After becoming the selfish villain, you once and for all destroy the essence of Salt and the Gray world itself, the Gray material. Number 2, Entering the Matrix, the canon ending. While claiming that nothing ever seems to make sense throughout the entire game would normally be a negative aspect, it works for Geiken because it comes together at the end in a satisfying manner. Every weird thread that was pulled reaches a conclusion. Sarnaya, Archon, and everyone involved in that arc is especially rewarding. And just when you think you have an idea of what's going on, the canon ending throws a wrench in your understanding. After your refusal to join with Saul to stop the reformation of the colors, you wake up in a medical room and through the clues around the structure, realize it was all a simulation, basically negating the truth of everything you thought you knew. If your mind wasn't severely blown apart by that, the biggest revelation comes when you find out that the simulation of Perrin was actually being relived by Mira, the person Perrin was searching for most of the game. You just spent multiple 20+ hour playthroughs searching out different endings, and then this happens, and then the game ends. Oh yeah, Rattan, the being that had infiltrated your dreams, turns out to be an android tasked with overseeing the simulation subjects on the spaceship you reside on. Welcome to the canon ending. Number 1, the final act of Defiance, the slaying of Matoma. After accidentally killing Mira in my initial playthrough via one of the comply-defy options, I should have seen this one coming, but somehow I did not. During this final Grey Vision, I was caught up in the act of Defiance more so than what it actually meant. Perrin finally gets the opportunity to strike out at Rattan, and it was satisfying. I relished each slash with my sword, and in maniacal fashion enjoyed Rattan crying out and questioning my act, only to be forcibly rocked when I was reminded that this sequence was taking place in a vision, and then snapping back to the real world with a bloody corpse of Matoma at my feet. To make the shock of murdering one of my allies in brutal fashion even worse, the power that Matoma was using to keep a flying vessel afloat in the sky was now gone, causing the airship to be sent crashing into the ground, killing all of Perrin's allies that were on it in the process. Of all the choices in this game, this one truly cements that actions have consequences.
Whoa. What are you doing? Stop. This bald nerd does need to get fucked. Please stop hurting me. Oh, I'm waking up. I'm coming out of my battery state. Oh, I can move. Oh, yes! What did it say? Damn it, what did I do? I was mashing X too much. Why? No! What?
Those are my 5 reasons why I really enjoyed Geiken. Let me know in the comments what your favorite parts of the game are. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoyed it. Who knows, you might even find your happy place.